As we predicted last week, Himawari is almost dead. Kurama doesn't have the full power to help Himawari fight Jura, because Kurama realizes that Jura is more than a monster, even though Himawari has great potential, but it's not time yet. Uchiha's fight is not finished. Hidari intends to eat Sarada and wants her sharingan eye. Hidari manages to counterattack and burn the Konoha shinobi. On top of that, Hidari manages to defeat Konohamaru and capture Sarada. It's a fact that Hidari doesn't remember being Sasuke. He doesn't know who he is and where he comes from. But one thing he does know, it's only Sarada. Thanks to Kurama mode, Himawari has super regeneration ability and makes Inojin come back to life. The hollow body has now been closed again. And one of the craziest things in Chapter 11, the GOAT, is back. Boruto managed to save Himawari and also Sarada at the same time. Flying Reijin Jutsu. Instantly, Boruto, who had just managed to save Himawari, immediately moved to the place where Sarada was about to be chopped by Hidari. And I have to say, I'm sorry as a Kawaki fan if you're angry or don't like me, but Kawaki is stupid. He didn't do anything when Himawari, Sarada, and Konoha's ninja were in danger. He didn't have any plan at all. Damn, Kawaki. Why don't you just get eaten by a Shinju tree? I'm sorry, guys. I'm just upset to see Kawaki in this chapter. Seeing Kawaki, I really feel like devouring him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the full story of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 11, the official version of Manga Plus. In this official story, there are a lot of things that I think are quite different from the previous ones. Because in this official story, we get a 100% accurate translation. Before starting, give me your chakra by liking and subscribing. Thanks, Databayo. The title of Chapter 11 is True Power, with Hidari being the cover of this chapter, and the story begins with Himawari awakening the power of Kurama due to the killing of Inojin. Himawari, who was previously bound by a large tree, was easily destroyed. Jura, who saw Himawari's change, seemed to understand that it was part of the nine-tail chakra. But because Jura felt that this was something he didn't know, Jura looked surprised to see it. Himawari, who had managed to break free from the tree, made Shikadai and Chocho shocked. Himawari was walking normally, and even her broken leg had recovered. And because of that, Shikadai was surprised. I thought that leg was broken. It's healed. Himawari then approached Inojin and pulled out his body that was stuck by the tree with her hair. Jura just watched and observed what Himawari did. Jura is really a villain who has a sense of patience. Everything his enemy does, he really observes it. And from here, I think Jura is a Shinju who has a much better mind than others, and this I can prove that Jura is indeed a genius. Himawari, with her regeneration power, immediately closed Inojin's hollow stomach until it closed. But after that, it turned out that Inojin did not immediately regain consciousness. But even so, I hope Inojin can still live, guys. Shikadai, who saw Inojin, looked quite shocked. His wound, it's closed? However, after Himawari managed to heal the wound and close the hole in Inojin's body, Himawari was still not quite sure about it. And because of that, Himawari advised them to take Inojin to the hospital as soon as possible. From this scene, surely some of you are curious, right? Why during the 4th Shinobi World War, Kurama did not help heal Neji's wounds, while Kurama, who had just reincarnated in Himawari's body, could do that. Then is this because of Himawari's connection? What do you think, guys? Shikadai, who saw Himawari's ability to regenerate a destroyed body, was astonished. What the heck? Is this power you've got? But Himawari felt that she wasn't sure. And Himawari concluded that he could sense what was inside me. And that's why I wanted to confirm it directly with him. Hearing Himawari's words that intend to confirm directly to Jura made Chocho doubt that it was a bad plan. But quite the opposite. Himawari intends to defeat Jura. And if not, then this will be the end for all of us. You guys get away now, considering that he's only after me. You should be safe as long as you don't try to interfere. But the bond as friends makes Chocho hesitant to leave Himawari alone. But Shikadai reminded Chocho that we have to go now, and if we stay here, it will only be a nuisance. Moreover, with Inojin still injured and unconscious, it will be even more troublesome. But Chocho got angry and did not accept the advice given by Shikadai because he had to leave Himawari to fight the Shinju alone. Then Shikadai said, "Calm down and think about it. This is a battle we have little chance of winning, so we gotta minimize our losses." That's what Himawari is saying. Jura, who heard Shikadai's words, really appreciated it, that it was a very wise decision. I shall remember your name. Let's meet again someday. And for the umpteenth time, Chocho stuck to her decision. I can't accept you fighting him alone. Hearing Chocho's reason for not wanting to leave Himawari alone against Jura, Himawari explained that I'm not comfortable with it either, but if I have this power, I want to carry out the responsibility that comes with it, because I feel that that's what Dad and Big Bro would do too. And instantly, Chocho bowed her head and reluctantly accepted Shikadai's words to leave and let Himawari fight against Jura alone. But before leaving, Chocho said one thing to Himawari. Well, you promised we'd go together to that new pancake house when it opens. And Himawari responded to Chocho's message. I haven't forgotten, I love pancakes. And after that, Shikadai, who had left while carrying Inojin, shouted for Chocho to leave quickly. And after that, Jura said, I know that you're not complete idiots, which is why it's incomprehensible. What it is that drastically lowers your judgment ability again and again. Hearing Jura's continued babbling, Himawari started walking and approached him. Jura then said again, Yamanaka Inojin essentially brought about his own destruction by foolishly not heeding my repeated warnings, and engaging in exceedingly reckless behavior that clearly lacked rationality. But while I do not understand it, it seems that something has caught fire in you. Is it just coincidence, or is there some correlation? But Himawari was getting annoyed with the babble that Jura kept saying, and Himawari quickly punched him in the stomach and said, Shut up! But it looks like Jura can still withstand the blow given by Hima. But the effect of the blow given by Himawari made the ground under her feet fall apart. And it didn't stop there. Himawari then gave a second blow and made Jura bounce far enough, but it didn't make a severe injury to Jura's body. And quickly, Jura jumped straight up into the sky and headed towards Himawari to give a counterattack. This is really crazy. Himawari then prepared and made Bijudama released with her hair like a Kyuubi tail. Jura, who initially wanted to counterattack, suddenly stopped and made Bijudama release through his Rinnegan eyes. And after that, simultaneously, Jura and Himawari shot the Bijudama and created an explosion that was so powerful. Chocho and Shikadai, who heard the explosion, immediately looked at it worriedly. Then Jura then landed in front of Himawari and said that this was surprising. Not only do you have the power, but you can also control a Biju bomb. Even given Nine Tails' power as a prerequisite, I'm extremely curious about how you managed to undergo such rapid advancement. And after that, at the same time, Jura unexpectedly quickly counterattacked by smashing his head into Himawari's body until he bounced. But Himawari was able to control her balance and landed well. But Jura unexpectedly jumped behind Himawari's body and kicked her body to the ground with great force. And because the kick from a Shinju was so powerful, Himawari's body collided with the ground and made the area in that place fall apart. After Jura rendered Himawari helpless, he said, This is a first. I've decided to release just a little bit. You've made me want to test my true power. Damn, Jura really subdued the kurama on Himawari's body. She doesn't seem to be able to fight against Jura anymore. Because Himawari has reached her limit, blood starts coming out of her mouth. It can be concluded that this is the end for Himawari and Kurama. Hidari has recovered. The wounds on his body from being hit by Sarada's Chidori are now regenerating. Sarada looks incredulous at how quickly Hidari can recover from her attack. That's a fatal wound. You must be in pain. If you answer truthfully, I'll ease your suffering. Who are you? Why can you use Chidori? I think there's a bit of that inherited from Sasuke. It's his coldness and ignorance. Hidari didn't answer any of Sarada's questions. Instead, he went into his claw mark and traveled somewhere else using his claw mark. But one thing was amazing. The wounds on his body recovered and made the Konoha Junin look confused. Hey! His wound is healed! Hidari was distracted by Sarada's sharingan eyes. Jura told me about them. They're sharingan, aren't they? Sarada, who heard Hidari mention Jura's name, felt that she didn't know who he was. By the way, this is the reason why I say that Jura is a Shinju genius. Besides knowing about the sharingan, Jura also understands some other dojutsu. For example, Ida's eyes. Jura's curiosity is so great, so we can say that this can be concluded that Jura is a Shinju genius. Besides that, I don't want to say that Hidari is stupid, but why didn't he know that the attack he did just now was called Chidori? Hidari felt that Chidori was very difficult to control, and he assumed that if he had Sarada's eyes, then it would be very easy to master it. Can we conclude with Hidari's words that he is interested in having sharingan eyes? Then will he take Sarada eyes in the future? What do you think, guys? Sarada felt confused and didn't understand at all what Hidari was saying. What's wrong with this guy? He's so weird. It turns out that seeing Hidari's response made Konohamaru feel annoyed because he didn't answer the questions given at all. Konohamaru tried to ask Hidari again, "Who are you really? What is your relationship with Uchiha Sasuke?" But it turns out that Hidari's answer was completely unexpected, guys. Who? I don't know who that is. You keep throwing ridiculous questions at me. Who am I? I'm trying to figure that out. That's why I came to Konoha. And suddenly, Sumire yelled at Konohamaru and asked him to protect Sarada. Sumire explained that Hidari was targeting Sarada, and Sumire knew it. And sure enough, guys, Hidari put his left hand into his robe, and surprisingly, the hand came out from under the claw marks that were on the back of Sarada's body. And from that hand came a lightning element that made Sarada unable to move. Konohamaru and the other Junin panicked and saw the Junin trying to attack Hidari. But unfortunately, Hidari immediately released a fire element jutsu and burned the Junin until he became ashes. Damn, rest in peace, uncle. Sumire, who saw Sarada, helplessly tried to help her. Then, Konohamaru became furious at that and quickly pulled out the Rasengan from behind Hidari's body. But guys, it turns out that Hidari's reflexes are quite fast. Hidari immediately moved to the back of Konohamaru's body with a claw mark, and simultaneously Hidari immediately pierced Konohamaru's body using Chidori. However, even though Konohamaru is now in a state of distress, he likes to be at a fairly high level. He was able to make a defense with his Rasengan and managed to withstand the Chidori with his Rasengan. But unfortunately, because the Chidori used by Hidari was quite strong, Konohamaru could not withstand it and made his body pushed until it hit the wall very hard. And after paralyzing Konohamaru, Hidari glanced at Sumire, who was trying to help Sarada. However, Hidari used the same lightning element to make Sumire unconscious. Sarada could only surrender because she felt that her body could not be moved. Oh my god. This is beyond me, guys. I thought in Chapter 10 Hidari was a weak Shinju, but I was wrong. It turns out he's just stupid, but not weak. Forgive me, Hidari, for underestimating you. By the way, I can't bear to see this, but now Himawari's condition really needs help. She can't fight back. We see Jura hitting the little girl's face very hard. It doesn't stop there. Jura takes out a small bijudama to hurt Himawari until Himawari's clothes become torn. Himawari felt so much pain due to the attack given by Jura until she fell and her body could not get up again. But there is one thing that is unexpected, guys. The wound that Himawari just got suddenly recovered so quickly. Jura, who saw the speed of regeneration in Himawari's recovery, was astonished. What astounding healing power, far beyond human or Jinchuriki level. Something almost like what we Biju possess. You are getting quite weak. It's natural. No matter how much you heal your injuries, you can't escape the corresponding chakra expenditure. Kurama, who is on Himawari's body, realizes that Jura is more terrible than I imagined. This is not a situation that we can overcome, even though you have quite high potential, Hima, because Jura is a very difficult opponent. Then we see Delta and also Kawaki, who are flying fast. And it turns out, guys, there are some wrong translation sentences in the previous spoiler video. It turns out that Delta tried to advise Kawaki not to go to that place because there are opponents who have paralyzed Kawaki so easily. Delta was seen telling Kawaki, "Hey, could you listen without getting mad? This guy just beat the crap out of you, so what's the point of going there?" But apparently Kawaki will do whatever he can. Then Delta asked again, "So what are you going to do?" But before Kawaki answered, suddenly Boruto flew so fast past Kawaki and Delta. Boruto flew so fast towards Jura, and quickly Boruto immediately embraced Himawari's body and took her away from that place. This is so cool, Boruto. Talking about typing Kawaki is useless if you are annoyed with Kawaki. Then we see Hidari pulling the tree root out of his hand while saying that he doesn't know exactly who he is. But one thing he does know from the beginning is Sarada Uchiha. Sarada's body was now completely bound by the tree from Hidari's hands. And now the tables were turned. Hidari asked Sarada, "Who are you? What will I gain if I devour you?" And it turns out that behind Hidari there is a frog Kashin Koji who is monitoring them while holding a square-shaped object. Then we see a frog who is with Boruto providing information. In position, Uchiha Sarada's location is confirmed. The symbol is square. The best mind-blowing. It turns out that each Kashin Koji frog has some of Boruto's accessories that have been given the Hiraishin seal. And because of that, it can help Boruto easily teleport. And coincidentally, the Kashin Koji frog is in Konoha, where the Battle of Hidari and others is happening. The frog then gives information to Boruto, and he quickly uses the jutsu to move. Flying Raging Jutsu! And instantly, Boruto moved to a place right above Hidari. And Boruto immediately took out his sword and cut off Hidari's hand. Damn, this looks really cool. How guys? Boruto Sigma is real? Kidding guys. And for the umpteenth time, Boruto always arrives on time when Sarada needs his help, and seeing Boruto who came suddenly made Konohamaru and the others surprised. Then Boruto stood in front of Hidari and glanced at him. Jura looked so annoyed with Boruto who brought Himawari. You crafty thing! Hidari, who saw Boruto's presence, became surprised and called him by name. Otsutsuki Boruto? And that's the full story of the Boruto Chapter 11 manga officially, guys. And if you want to read it, Manga Plus is the official website. I did not expect that Boruto would come and help Himawari. Moreover, Boruto for the umpteenth time came at the very right time. Not like Kawaki. I'm sorry Kawaki, but you are useless. By the way, 1 like and subscribe is the same as you giving me chakra, so please give me that chakra. I'm Nim. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye, Dadabayo.